Bola Tinubu is not his name. Nobody knows his birth date for sure. Nobody knows who his parents are for sure. I know my name, I know my parents, I know my birth date, I have classmates, okay, and there are no questions about whether I graduated from Ahmad Bello University or not. Anytime I wake up and I see the Tinubu government inflicting more pain on Nigerians and just bungling governance, the simplest things in governance that I knew when I was DG of BP, these guys can't even get it together. Whenever I see that, I thank God, because I think God saved me. I'm a very lucky person. I think God saved me from the embarrassment of having to explain to be part of this disaster, okay? So I've never thought twice about it. I never sought to be minister. I was minister 20 years before. That's nothing. Tinubu begged me.
And to your credit, okay, you did a superb job as Minister of Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Everybody would agree to that.
Thank you very much, okay? My record is there, all right? So Tinubu begged me publicly. The videos are there to serve in his cabinet. He requested me to change my personal life plans, okay? So those that I say is because he dropped me. How can I be unhappy about something that I never sought, it was actually an imposition on me? I had to change my plans. I had to put my PhD on hold. I had to do many things because of his request. So it has not happened. It has not happened. I'm grateful to God that it has not happened, because I don't have to explain to Nigerians why electricity is this way, the economy is going this way, the exchange rate is going that way, and so on. I don't have to explain that.
Right. But what is your sense of what the wider public mood is? Because, I mean, you've said that, he's treated the Nigerian people very badly, in terms of his policies. I mean, what is your sense of what the wider public mood is? Because it is fair to say that many people may not like Mr. Tinubu, but many of them are undecided and are not necessarily convinced that people like you or Atiku or Obi or Kwankwaso are a better alternative.
Well, we have to ask the people to make up their minds. Do you like what is happening? This is just 2 years, okay? If you're happy with what is happening, if your life has got better since President Tinubu was sworn in on May 29, 2023, fine. But if not, why not give some other people a chance?
Well, the reason I ask that is because, I mean, I'm wondering whether you've carried out any sort of scientific poll to actually determine how popular he is. Because
no,
I remember in 2023.
Yes, we have.
When you were sitting where you're sitting now, and I interviewed you,
yes,
and I quoted the polls to you that suggested that Mr. Tinubu was only marginally popular.
Yes.
And you disputed that.
Yes.
But in the end, he could only manage less than a third of the vote, or around a third.
Yes.
While the two leading opposition candidates got collectively 2/3 of the vote.
True. Throughout the polling before the 2023 election, we knew that the election was going to be tight, very tight. But we were ahead. We knew we were going to be tight. We have done some polling. And I have mentioned some time ago that in many parts of the country, particularly in the southeast and the north, President Tinubu has 91% disapproval rating. Even in Lagos, he has 78% disapproval rating. Okay, in some states,
and that's a scientific poll.
It's a scientific poll,
right.
And in some states in the southwest, he's doing a bit better. Ondo, Ekiti. He's doing better than 78% disapproval rating, but there is nowhere he's doing better than 50%, even in the southwest. The guy is gone. He's performed miserably. The economy has tanked. The security architecture has failed. There are no clear trade, industrial, and investment policies. Everything is going wrong. They are raising lots of revenues, but we don't know where the revenues are going because there are no results.
But they would make the argument that he's only been in office for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, is it fair to assess him based on 2 years?
Of course, it is fair to assess him. He has assessed others based on 1 year. He has assessed others in the past. You see, the beauty of the 21st century is there is an audit trail of what you have said or done. When when Jonathan was president and Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu tweets then, as far as security is concerned, the buck stops at the president's desk. You bring that out to him and show him when he tries to say, oh, you know, governor, go and fix your security problem. No, the governor cannot fix security problems because defense, police, security is exclusively federal. As governors, we were chief security officers only in name. Okay, so don't outsource security to the states. Fix it. Hire more boots on the ground. Equip them, retool them, and so on. And you know, Charles, for the last 12 months or up to 18 months, every month, 100 billion naira is deducted from the Federation account and sent to the security agencies. Why is there no improvement? In 2024, over 2.2 million Nigerians were abducted. 615,000 were killed. Is Nigeria at war? These numbers are worse than the 8 years of Buhari. In 1 year. This is data from Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. So it's government data. I'm not quoting something out of the air. So for that 100 billion that goes out every month from Federation account, without appropriation by the National Assembly, by the way, without appropriation by the state assemblies, because part of the money belongs to the states. So each state assembly is supposed to appropriate that part. So the entire deduction and expenditure is unconstitutional. It's an impeachable offense. But it has been going on for more than 15 months from the last time I checked. So where has that 1.5 trillion gone? What is it being used for? Why is the security situation just getting worse? Why is the government asking communities to protect themselves? You know, look,
well,
President Tinubu's government has felt woeful. Look, beyond, if you asked me in 2022 or 2023 when we were campaigning that things will ever be this bad, I would say that you are mentally ill. Nigerians are tired of the APC. We know that. We have polled that. There is 91% disapproval of this administration across the country. 91% disapproval. It's the worst in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians are looking for a credible option. Yeah, but they want to see people coming together, putting aside their differences and ambitions, and giving them an alternative to this failure of a government.
But that's the key thing. Can you put aside your personal ambitions?
You've got
yourself, you've got Atiku Abubakar, you've got P2B, you've got Rotimi Amechi, you have so many big political, wigs with huge, ambitions.
Big names does not equate ambitions, okay? You've mentioned my name. I have no ambition, okay? I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap, okay? Because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me
You've got a long way to go.
Let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked. Bola Tinubu was never someone I was close to, even in the party, because in the party I was a Buhari boy. Bola has his boys, Buhari had his boys. We are Buharists, no apologies. So Bola Tinubu never really liked me. We never really got along. The person that I got along with was Baba Akande, and I was his deputy national secretary. We were among the first leaders of the party. As far as I was concerned, once Bola Tinubu got the ticket of the party, it was my duty as a party man to do my best to deliver him in Kaduna, and wherever I see that there is a potential problem that I can solve to ensure his election, I will do that. Is he perfect? No. Some people said Bola Tinubu is not his name. Nobody knows his birth date for sure. Nobody knows who his parents are for sure. There are all kinds of questions.
And that didn't bother you at the time?
It did bother me because I know my name, I know my parents, I know my birth date, I know I have classmates, okay, and there are no questions about whether I graduated from Ahmadu Bello University or not, okay. All those questions were there about about Tinubu. But for me, the question was, He was governor of Lagos. Yes. How did he govern Lagos? He governed Lagos in a very inclusive manner. He had an Igbo guy as a commissioner. He had another Hausa man from Daura as one of his special advisors. In Lagos, in 1999, that was almost unique. He ran an inclusive government. After winning the elections with the Agberos and all that, he went and got the Cardosos, Wale Eduns, Yemi Osinbanjos from the private sector to come and help him run the government. So he did a decent job in governing Lagos. That's the only thing we know about him as far as governing is concerned. You know, Charles, every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future, okay? The way I looked at it is, well, look, he did a decent job in Lagos. Lagos has improved. You can't deny that. He laid a foundation. Many people have issues about how he held on to Lagos and so on and so forth. But the place is improving. If he can do half of that on a pan-Nigeria level, this country will move forward. So I said, look, he's the candidate of the party. I will support him. I will do everything to ensure he wins. So that's my explanation.
Right.
Now, fast forward.
He's failed you.
Fast forward.
As you
He
said.
has. Look, the one thing I was almost confident President Tinubu would do would be to have a competent team, solid people. Look at his cabinet. It's a joke. The largest cabinet in Nigeria's history, maybe there are 5 ministers that can be called ministers in the time I was minister, which was 20 years prior. Okay? Who is the Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala in that cabinet? Who is the Obi Ezekwesili? You know, there is just no quality. President Tinubu is determined to make this election look as if it is settled. It is not. They are giving the impression through defections and so on as if, you know, this is set. It is not. We know. Okay? It is not. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I have looked at the numbers, I've looked at the trends of elections. President Tinubu has no pathway to win. He cannot win. In fact, he'll be lucky if he is third.